Alright, working on a little Tecumseh generator again today, and I think today what we'll do is we'll finish putting the carburetor part together and maybe put the rest of it here together and get it ready to go. But before I put you up on a tripod, we're going to show you a few things that you're not going to be able to see while you're up there, so I want you to know what we're doing. Alright, first off, I put you on a piece of cardboard instead of the white, so you won't get much reflection, because the white messes with the exposure on the camera here. So especially when I put the light on like this. If you look, there we go right there. All right, down in here is a little rubber grommet, and that's for the fuel seat. All right, we're going to pull that out and we'll show you how to do that. We're going to use a special tool. Then another thing I want to show you is over here. I'm going to let it focus in. See if I can set down there. Alright, if you look real close, in here there's a small jet here. A small orifice, I should say. And then right behind it, let's see if I can, there's another one. So you got to make sure them two little orifices are clear. Okay, and then what else? I think that's all I got to show you now. So let me put you back on the tripod. All right, wait, before you go up there. Here's this goes in the bottom, holds the float ball on, but this is I think is your main jet. But anyway, I know I mentioned to you earlier. You got this. Here's a little orifice here on the side. That's pretty small compared to the bigger ones. The bigger horsepower you get, the bigger they get. And then on the back side, they also have one back here, but this one don't. This only has the one. But what I want to point out to you is I told you sometimes up here near the top you have small orifices, and you can't see them because they're so tiny. And here's one right here. It's so tiny that I couldn't even use. I got these cleaners for the welder, and or the welding tip. They call them welding tip cleaners. And you can get the big hole, but I couldn't even get that. So what I had to do was rip out a little piece of wire off one of the wire brushes here, and that's thin enough to go in there. And that's small enough to go into your small orifices in here and on the top there. So at least you know what I'm doing. Like I said, I know you're not gonna be able to see it when you're up there on tripod, so at least you know what I'm doing. Alright, hold on, we're going up. Alright, first thing you have to do is we're gonna get this, and this is a reenactment because I already done this, but like I say, I know you're not gonna be able to see this side orifice. And take our tip cleaner and stick it in there. And sometimes you can't put them in straight because they're on an angle. Like this one here is on an angle this way. But anyway, you want to make sure that's clear. And then here's that piece of probably can't even see it, but that's that piece of wire. And now this hole here, this actually goes down. I'm trying not to get my hands in the way, but this is so tiny. Okay. That one goes down that way, so you want to make sure that's all clear. I mean, the main big one in the middle here, that's you can look through that and see if that's clear. But anyway, then you want to clear these tiny little orifices here. Now, you could take this Welsh plug out, and if you buy a kit, you're probably going to get a new Welsh plug, but I'm not going to, because this carburetor was so clean. It was. There's no crust, no nothing in here. I probably really didn't have to clean it, but if you take this off, you can get to these other orifices. You don't have to go in through here. But for me, right now, I don't know if you can see that, but put it in them holes and make sure they're clear. And most of the time, when I have taken these apart, let me see where I can go here. Here we go. Try and stay in view. They've always been clear. That's like this one here. There's orifice here in the side, but that's so big you can see if that's clogged. And that just goes to this Welsh plug here. and you can see that's more or less just like a journal. And even on dirty carburetors, I've never found one of them that was bad. But anyway, make sure all your orifices are clear. This here is the tip cleaner. That's like about $3. I'll leave a link. I'll find it on Amazon for you somewhere and leave you a link. But let's take this rubber grommet out. This is a special tool here. I'll get a close-up of it after I finish this. But this is actually a Tecumseh tool. It's got a Tecumseh part number 670377, and that allows you to reach in there. It's got a hook on one end, real tiny hook, and that allows you to reach in there and pull it out. Look at that. Look at that. Can you see that? It's right here. All right. Now there's something else I want to mention to you. When you pull it out, these have a groove on one side, and one side is flat, and the groove always goes towards the carburetor, inside towards the carburetor. You know what? While I got that out, how about we just replace it, right? I should be prepared here, but I'm not. Okay. Like I say, you look for the groove. Here's the groove on this one, and that goes to the carburetor. Now this special tool has a little thing that holds it for you, and you just stick it in there and push it until it stops, and you're good to go. Now you don't have to buy this tool. To get these out, you could actually just get a screw, a regular screw that'll fit in there, and if you tighten it in there, it'll go right on you. You pull right out. So you use a screw to take it out, and then I think this is a number 13 drill. You use a number 13 drill to just push it all the way in. So you don't really need this tool. But this tool, the way it's shaped, where you guys at? This little section here is actually a gauge, and you stick that down for your float bowl, right there. And then when your float bowl is exactly where that belongs, that's where they recommend it be. So okay, we already got that in, and let's see. Let me shut these off for a second and gather my thoughts. Okay, here you go. Let's try to give you a close-up of this tool here. There's the numbers for you. There we go. There we go. Like I say, the one end here is made specifically for putting a rubber grommet in. And this end has that tiny little hook, and this here's the gauge for the float bowl. I'm not sure if this fat thing in the middle here is meant for something. Somebody mentioned that it might be for something, but anyway, I forgot what that cost. You know, maybe $10 or something. I don't know, but we'll find you a link. All right, we're going back up. Hold on. All right, here are all the parts you need. I mean, that whole kit. You know, you can buy certain smaller kits that just have a few of these things in there, but this is all we're going to use. Alright, now we're going to go with the side jet. Now, this side jet still has the rubber grommet in there. Here you go. See, I'm just using this. This is a regular hook, nothing special about it. Okay, almost lost it. Wow. Yeah, believe it or not, that's still in good shape. That's nice and soft. I'm almost tempted to keep it in there, but I don't want to hear. I know you guys are gonna say that I shouldn't do that. I'm even reusing the same old. I cleaned them up, but it's the long screw. The long screw goes in the side, and it's funny. It doesn't have any kind of metal washer on here. It just goes right up against the rubber. At least that's what I've found. It does have a washer, but the washer's up top, and I think that's more or less so that it rotates on the spring instead of twisting it. Okay, so we'll just put that in there, and then we'll screw it in all the way. Didn't take much. And what we said, this was 1 1/4, right? So there you go, 1 and about 1/4. quarter. Alright. Alright, let me see what else is next. Okay. That didn't feel right to me. You know, if something doesn't feel right, then stop it and check it out. Because that had a little too much screw hanging out. So I took it out, and I don't know what was holding it, but I took it out and put it back in. So now it's, you can see the screw goes a lot further in, and it goes in a lot nicer. So there you go. It stopped right there. We'll go one turn and about a quarter. And that's done. That's ready to go. Okay. Next, what we're going to do is this bowl. Some of them don't have it, but this one has the drain where you can actually push it and drain the fuel out of the bowl. And I think this is the gasket that goes there. This little green thing. But what you got to do is you got to push it down. It's actually pretty tough to get out because you have to push the spring down, and then this will pull back. So the tough part is let me see here. Tough part is actually holding this spring down below the top there. So it's going to take a lot of finagling, and then that top part should almost pop out. Huh. Wow. See, I said it was going to be tough, but it wasn't actually too bad. So you guys got to see that. Then you take the spring out, and then this will come out through the top here. Now I think, it's been a long time since I messed with one of these with the thing. I think this green one actually stretches over this. It's almost like a baby having a baby. I don't know if you guys can see that, but this sort of stretches over there. I'm going to turn these off and put that on there, and then we'll show you that. Okay. Yeah, put that on there. Let me get this up here for you. You see there, that just pushes on. It stretches up over that little head, comes down, and there's a groove that actually sits in. And then this here, that was a little rough there. I hit that with some sandpaper trying to flatten it out. You know, I mean, these are nice when they're working right, but if they don't, I might have to replace this bowl and just say to hell with this this little drain. But when they work good. Then you just take this and gotta pull the spring down. Try not to shoot it across the garage. And push it on. Almost got it. Almost got it. There we go. Okay. Okay. That's actually a pretty strong spring, so that will seat itself. Alright, we got that done. Like I say, if that leaks, you know, it may set in and may set itself, but if it leaks, then we just put a different bowl on. Alright, next thing we're going to do is we're going to take this little needle valve. I'm using the same one because it's in good shape and everything. And I got the float here. I cleaned it up. I actually polished it. I used a little brasso. You guys in the service will know what that is, but some of the younger guys won't. I think it's actually one of the good ones, you know, before they change the formula. So, good stuff. Cleans up brass. And I'll put a link in there for this if I can find it. Alright. So now what you do is you just take this needle valve, and it's got a little hook on it. And the hook just goes down and just holds it in place for you. It's kind of a sloppy fit, so don't worry about that. And then you want to take this and you stick that point right into the hole where that grommet we put in. And there it'll all come together there. Okay. And then you just take this pin and stick it through the side here. Where you at? There you go. Now that's going to be a sloppy fit too, but that's going to get held in place by the bowl. Matter of fact, if you look at the bowl, There's actually two little titties here, and that's from where that pin has been hitting and going up and down for years. But then you look at it and you just make sure it's working. You can actually see it. Yeah, I was looking at it myself. You know, you can actually see that that thing working. Here's where that gauge, since I got it, I might as well show you. You stick that gauge in there, and that's where your float is. You know? Mine looks like it can come up a little bit, but I'm going to leave it where it is, because that's where it was. And then, maybe before you put that on, maybe you want to put this on. We'll see. Nah, don't matter. This rubber is actually smaller than the rest of the thing, so it actually holds itself on. Alright, now your bowl's ready to go on. When you put your bowl on, it's designed so the deep end goes like right there. And on this one, let me see. Where's it at? Let me think this over a second. I'll be right back. Okay, I stopped because them two titties wouldn't be where I would put this. What I always do is this. I consider this the deep end. You know, so when that comes down, it lets that float come down that much further. So I would put that just like that, and that's what I'm going to do, because that's what I've always done. Now, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong. If I'm right, I'm right. Somebody let me know. Alright, now what we're going to do is this gasket here, this little pink thing, goes right on here. And that holds your float bowl in. That's a 7/16. Alright. Remember, I'm not showing you guys how to rebuild this, because there's, you know, if you're going to rebuild it, you don't want to get too tight. There you go. If you're going to rebuild this, you probably would have stuck this in an ultrasonic tank and got the paint off, but that's all I'm doing. Alright, now here's the jet. Here's the screw that goes in the bottom. Now this one has this little oh, we almost lost it. I would call it brass. I was going to call it copper, but I'm going to call it brass. Brass washer goes on there, and then this O-ring, and then this goes in the bottom, and this is, I would consider this your main jet. And we screwed this screw this one all the way in, and I think we said this was 1.5. Let me get your notes out here. The bottom was 1.5 turns. Alright, you can actually do it. It's got a thumb screw on it. You can actually do it with your thumb, but it's easier to see when you got a screwdriver. So we're going to go, there's 1 full turn and a half turn. Now that carburetor is ready to go back on. Alright, we'll see you over at the engine. Alright, I got the manifold back on. I'm going to hook this all back up and hook linkage up. I'm going to put a new gas line on. This old one, even this old one looks like it's in good shape. It looks like it might be the wrong size. So I'm going to put this 1/4-inch piece on there. So I'm going to put this hook this all back up together. It's just a reverse of what we took apart, so you're not going to miss anything. And then we'll get back to you, because I think this video might be getting a little long. Alright, got the carb on, got all the linkage hooked up, put the muffler back on, and the air cleaner. And I think when I took this out, I said it was part of the old air cleaner, but I don't think it is. I think it's just like a little catch screen in case, I'm going to put that back in. I think it's just a little catch screen there in case your filter starts falling apart. It prevents it from getting sucked in or something, but I think that belongs in there. So we're going to find a filter and put that on there. And then that. And then what we're going to do is we're going to put the flywheel on here. Alright. Let me see if I can find the rest of that. There it is. Alright, Sorry about that. I didn't want to make you sick. I know some of you guys have vertigo and stuff. So I'm going to put the nut on here. And then I think the flywheel, I want to check the handle on the flywheel. I'm not sure if it's just the plastic. I don't know if you can see in there. I had the light on. Sorry about that. But I don't know, like right there. I don't know if that's the plastic or the metal that's cracking. You know, because this has like a plastic coating on it. So I'm going to take it apart and look at it before I put the shroud on. And then next video, I guess we're going to try and start it up, okay? Alrighty. Thanks for watching this far. And we'll see you in the next one.